let's face it, we all have different fears and anxieties, even children.
That's right. Back today is one of our favorite guests and phobia expert, Kalliope Barlis. And this morning we're going to help parents teach our kids how to overcome their fear of taking tests, because it is such a legitimate concern. These kids seem so stressed out already when it comes to test taking these days.
And you know what? A certain amount of nervousness is good to have because it keeps us alert. Like, I used to play golf professionally, and the one thing my coach taught me was a certain amount of a stress was good because it made you pay more attention. So if we teach kids that, okay, it's okay to be nervous, but just remember, you can do well no matter what.
And talk about that, because it is all about, this is what you do. This is whether it's, fear of snakes that you've helped Natalie with before, whatever our phobia, there is kind of a healthy portion of that you need, like you just mentioned. But how do you, especially with kids, I don't even think kids really even understand sometimes why they're feeling anxious, why
they have the butterflies.
Yeah.
Right. And so, let's put it this way. Any kid, you could teach them to visualize how it is that they're going to perform in anything that they do. That the stress that they're feeling, it's a signal that they have to do something, that they have to study. And the more that they actually pay attention in class, probably less they'll have to study. So if we teach kids to pay attention, it's sort of like their own cheat sheet. Mm-hmm. It teaches them to listen more, look more, and the more they listen and look at their teacher, the more they'll remember, so that when they're ready to study, they'll be able to do even better on their test.
Well, I like one of your approaches you were talking about. I mean, if a child doesn't do well and then they get the grade and say it's a big F, you're saying we need to look at the letter F a little different, because there's a different word we can associate it with, right?
Well, that's right. Feedback. Because I was taught that there's no such thing as feedback. That whatever it is that we do in life, you can do more of it because you did the right thing, or you learn from it to be able to do something differently so you do better the next time. So when a kid gets their test back, not only do they have the red X's, but we need to point out the green check marks next to the ones that they did get right. So they remember those as well as remember what they need to learn to be able to do better.
But I love what you say too, is making sure that kids actually visually picture themselves succeeding and doing well and kind of that next step. It kind of explain that a little bit and why that is so important of making these kids and adults, I think we could learn from this too, visualizing what they want.
Well, let's put it this way. Every invention started with a thought. And it's true that whatever it is that you visualize, see happening, hear happening, and feel happening, the more vivid that is, the more the brain has direction to go into. It's like a GPS. You put in an address, it goes there. If you just put in somewhere, well, who knows where you're going to end up. But when you tell your child, okay, see yourself being comfortable, see yourself doing well, getting the grade that you want, chances are their brain will start doing everything like searching and sorting to do what they need to do to get the grade they want.
Does that work for other areas too? Whether it's, we know you're a golf expert too. Do you tell people just to do that in general, as no matter what they want, visualize yourself doing that?
Absolutely, and I encourage everyone even to do it in the morning before they get up out of bed. How do I want my day to go? What are the things that I need to do? And the more vivid the imagination is in getting it done, and sure, you may not know what exactly you need to do, but because you've set a destination, your brain will figure out what it needs to do, and it'll happen easier and more effortlessly than if you didn't imagine it.
Well, Kalliope, you had me do that. I mean, you've worked with me on the snake thing, and you had me visualize seeing myself in studio and being able to be around it, and it worked. I mean,
yeah.
We just did it a few weeks ago. So, I mean, I am witness. This absolutely works.
Yeah, and because whenever you take away something, you need to put something in its place. So with you, for instance, like I took away the fear of like snakes that are safe, right? Because there are fears that do keep us safe. But then I had you imagine yourself actually being comfortable around a snake that was safe so that you could be.
And not that she was like in love with the snakes,
right,
but she was
exactly.
able to do it. I mean, it was a huge
Yes, note to our producers, we don't need to book them every day, but I can at least be in the studio.
Well, as we kind of wrap up here, what's your take home? What do you think when it comes to testing kids? What do we need to
make it fun for kids to learn? Because kids do have an attention span when they're interested and intrigued with what they're doing. They'll sit for hours playing a game. They'll sit for hours binge watching episodes of an entire season, right? So if we make it fun for them, have them have a study partner that they can make learning fun, the more it'll integrate inside their minds to remember what they need to.
We just love you. Thank you for coming back. We look
Thank
forward
you
to
so
having
much.
you back soon too. We'll make sure and put all her information where you can find her as well, and her books that she's done on our website.